Hello folks and welcome back. It's to the race deck on St Francis. It's race day 3. It's Tuesday the 22nd I believe, and Michael Coxon still in the bin. He's still not a starter on the Thurlow Fisher. And Cocko, come over here mate and just give the folks an idea of what this wind's doing out here today, because I was completely confused. You reckon it's coming from the right? I thought it was coming from the left, but...
No, I was just chatting to Diego, a local. Yeah. It's always good to talk to a local. And what he's saying with this fog on the right-hand side, if it stays there, you should be looking at like an angle between 260, 270. Yesterday was about 250, so a little more on the right, and which is what you're seeing now. And they've actually moved this gate in a little more too, which is going to make it a little more interesting. But so yeah, if the fog clears, he's sort of saying that it's going to probably come back to the left. But hey,
what are we looking at?
I'm only listening to a local. That's what he tells me. So.
I'm believing you, because looking at the chutes that they just carried off the beach, going straight down. So what sort of wind have we got here, 15 or something?
Yeah, I don't think any more than that. But it's the funny thing with San Fran, it's quite a dense breeze. The Americans seem to talk it down a lot, but it's probably only, it's really only like 13, 14 knots, I think. But I think it's got on the cards to build. They reckon it can get up to sort of 20, 25 knots apparently.
Okay.
But at the moment, it hasn't built yet, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, well, the big news about speed, we're just talking about speed of wind and speed of boats. Jessie DeRoy yesterday actually blew my doors off. Not only did she pick the accurate speed, 23.8 knots, she got the boat that delivered the speed on Yandu, so blowed if I know. For the rest of you, you really you got to get with it. But I looked at the sheets in there earlier, and a lot of you are all close together now. You're all going around the 20, 21, 22 and fractions of. So it's all on again today. We'll find out at the end, very end again. Right now, the regatta is poised with Yandu, and the three veterans are 1, 2 and 3ing this at the moment. Of course, Cocko's on the beach. Trevor, Chesty Trev Barnabas is on the Thurlow Fisher. He's third. CST Composites, the other veteran, Howie Hamlin, is second, and Woody, the super veteran, is first. He's on 8 points, Howie's on 11, and Trev's on 15. And the way they're going, I think it's just going to be fought out between these three boats. Long way to go on the regatta, but old age and treachery is going on at the moment. We'll be back shortly with the start. They're all getting out on the track, and it'll be on in about 15 minutes, I'd say. It'll be the start of race 5. Back to you then. Okay folks, and welcome back to the OB deck at St Francis Yacht Club. We're probably inside a minute now, looking at the boats on final to shape up on that line. Johnny Winning and Howie Hamlin right down here, and I think that's Harkin. 3 boats right down here on this pin end, and they're liking the look of this to do port tack start, and I think that is right on the money, because the other boats have got their bows way down once they pull the trigger, and I'd say the race is away. Yes, race on. Now there's another starboard tack which is Smeg, come right down on starboard just to wreck their opportunity. So Smeg has pulled off a bit of a coup there. I think he's sailing straight into the beach off St Francis here, and when he tacks back, I think he's going to cross all those starboard tackers, because Woody took his stern. Now, Woody's also taken a lot of other sterns there, so this could be interesting. But the news is it's a race 5, and we're underway, and Trevor Barnabas looking nice over there on starboard. So it's going to be close between him and Smeg on this first cross. We'll come back to you when that happens. So here goes Nicky Press, just tacked the Smeg. Trevor Barnabas tacked off earlier, and Smeg needs to get across Yamaha here to give himself a shot at the lead of this race. Yamaha's gone back. But interestingly, Smeg's bow is quite down, so that early little advantage by being on the pin end, I think, has washed itself up, and the advantage has gone back to the boats that have gone right out in the centre. Early days yet, but we'll come back to you when they come together. But Smeg's got his bow way down now to those other boats out wide. So halfway up the beat, you can see the action out there. Most of the boats have actually sailed into that fog line, so we can't see them. So I don't bugger if I know how they're going to find a ley line to that Golden Gate turn mark. But anyway, that's what's going on. And the other news we can give you, unfortunately for Thurlow Fisher, Trevor Barnabas's boat, and Harkin, Glenn Raphael, we've just found out off Coco that those boats were OCS on that start. So they're just going to have a bit of sailing practice out there because it won't amount to anything for them. So that's bad news for Trevor, currently running third on the leaderboard. So that'll be a discard for them today, and you only get 2 discards in this event. So he's starting to rack up some discards, and he's starting to rack up some wins as well. So that's the news. Boats have tacked back for that mark, and we'll come back to you when they get there. Our leader around the top mark the first time is Grant Rollison's Western Australian entry. Mounts Bay Sailing Club, the black chute with slam on it. Rollo, brilliant. And he's done a jibe set, which is the fast way to go to get down to this gate. And second is Thurlow Fisher Trevor Barnabas, but he's OCS, so that's not going to count for anything. And Nicky Press in the Smeg. Nice job, those guys. Remember, they came right into this shore and we weren't sure how they were going to get across to the other fleet. But in the end, it's worked out okay. Now, the other surprise here is Jono Whitty in that first of the blue chutes. Panasonic Lumix. They've done a nice job going up there. And right behind them is John Winnings Yandu, our event leader at the moment. And I think that's CT Batten's. Alex Valling's boat is the first white chute. And I'm not quite sure of the other white chute, but I would think that might be Harkin. That's Glenn Raphael, and Howie Hamlin, the blue and white chute behind him. So there's our race. They're on their way to the gate mark here. We'll come back to you when they pull down to us. So there's Slam setting up now to come back to the gate. He's our leader, and right behind him is the red chute of Smeg Nick Press, and the poor old OCS boat, Thurlow Fisher Lawyers, unofficially in third, or I think they'd like to know they were OCS, but I don't know whether they're going to tell them or not, but they don't. There's no way of knowing, and when you're at this club, normally in Sydney you get at least 2 guns, and they'll put numbers up, but it's not part of the sailing instructions at St Francis, so Trevor's just getting some sailing practice there. So through goes Grant Rollison, looking mighty fine at the moment, but Rollo, I saw him out in the town last night. He's does some very good après work in San Fran as Rollo, so it'll be interesting to see if he can keep it all together. Got a long way to go yet. So the next boat through is Thurlow, but for nothing, and pretty untidy jibe there just to get through the gate on Smeg. They must have forgotten about it. I think they decided they were going to come into the shore first, because there was discussion last night about lengthening that pin right into the shore, so they must have got confused. Anyway, CT Batten's next. Panasonic, Johnny Winning, Maersk, Graham Gately's boat, Kiwi entrant, and then a long way back is Howie Hamlin. So Howie's got a bit of catching up to do here, and it ain't easy in a red hot fleet like this. Yamaha will be next, and the other OCS boat with the white chute is Harkin, Glenn Raphael. Back to you when they get down towards Alcatraz.